This here's a cemetery.
Oh, quit your kidding.
You don't mean to say.
Well, what's the matter with this place?
A cemetery?
Sure. What of it?
You must be crazy.
This is the place, all right, I tell you. I've been here lots of times.
Nix on this place for me.
Oh, ain't this place as good as another? What are you afraid of? They're all dead ones here. They don't bother you. Hey, look, here's a new one.
Come on out of here.
Wait a minute, let's see what it says. Z-E-R-O, Z-E-R-O, 0. Say, that's the guy.
Zero. That's the guy who killed his boss, ain't he?
Yeah, that's him all right. But what I'm thinking of is, I went to the Hooskow on account of him.
What for?
You know, same old stuff. Tenement house law, section blah blah of the penal code, third offense, 6 months.
And this bird?
Him. He was Mama's white-haired boy. We used to live in the same house, across the air shaft, see? I used to see him looking in my window. Well, his wife must have seen him too. Anyhow, they went and turned the bulls on me. And now I'm out and he's in. Say.
What's so funny?
Oh, wouldn't it be funny? And he can't do nothing about it now, can he? That'd be a good joke on him, all right.
Come on out of here. I don't like this place.
Oh, you're a bum sport. What do you want to spoil my joke for?
What's that?
It's only the cats. They seem to like it here, all right. Come on, if you're afraid. Jeez, you nervous men. Sure are the limit.
That's funny. I thought I heard her talking and laughing, but I don't see nobody. Anyhow, what would she be doing here? I must have been dreaming. But how could I be dreaming if I ain't been asleep? Well, no use going back. I can't sleep anyhow. I might as well walk around a bit. Oh, gee, I'm stiff. Gee, it's lonesome here. I should have stayed where I was, but I thought I heard her laughing. What's that?
It's all right. Nothing to be afraid of. I hope I didn't frighten you.
You know, that's all right. You see, I wasn't expecting to see anybody.
You're a newcomer, aren't you?
This is my first night. I couldn't seem to get to sleep.
I can't sleep either. Suppose we keep each other company, shall we?
Yeah, that would be great. I've been feeling awful lonesome.
I know. Let's make ourselves comfortable.
Oh, kind of stiff.
Oh, you mustn't mind the stiffness. It wears off in a few days. Will you have a Camel?
No, I don't smoke.
I find it helps keep the mosquitoes away. Do you mind if I smoke, Mr.
No, go right ahead.
Thank you. I didn't catch your name. I say, I didn't catch your name.
I heard you the first time. I'm afraid if I tell you who I am and what I've done, you'll be off me.
No matter what your sins may be, they are as snow compared to mine.
You got another guess coming. My name's Zero. I'm a murderer.
Oh, yes, I remember reading about you, Mr. Zero.
And you still think you're worse than me?
Oh, 1,000 times worse, Mr. Zero. 1,000,000 times worse.
What did you do?
I, too, am a murderer.
Go on, you're kidding me.
Every word I speak is the truth, Mr. Zero. I am the foulest, most sinful of murderers. You only murdered your employer, Mr. Zero. I murdered my mother.
The hell you say?
Yes, my mother. My beloved mother.
Say, you don't mean to say you're Mr.
Yes,
I remember reading about you in the paper.
yes, my guilt has been proclaimed to all the world. It would be a trifle if only I could wash the stain of sin from my soul.
Never heard about a guy killing his mother before. What'd you do it for?
Because I have a sinful heart, there's no other reason.
Did she always treat you square and like that?
She was a saint. A saint, I tell you. She cared for me and watched over me as only a mother can.
You mean you didn't have a scrap or nothing?
Never a harsh or an unkind word. Nothing except loving care and good advice. In my infancy, she devoted herself to guiding me on the right path. She taught me to be thrifty, to be devout, to be unselfish, to shun evil companions, and to shut my ears to all the temptations of the flesh. In short, to become a virtuous, respectable, and God-fearing man. Oh, but it was a hopeless task. At 14, I began to show evidence of my sinful nature.
You didn't kill anybody else, did you?
No, thank God. There's only one murder on my soul. But I ran away from home.
You did?
Yes, a companion lent me a profane book. The only profane book I ever read, I'm thankful to say. It was called Treasure Island. Have you ever read it?
No, I was never much on reading books.
It's a wicked book. A lurid tale of adventure. But it kindled in my sinful heart a desire to go to sea, and so I ran away from home.
What did you do? Get a job as a sailor?
I never saw the sea. Up to the day of my death. Luckily, my mother's loving intuition warned her of my intention, and I was sent back home. She welcomed me with open arms. Not an angry word, not a look of reproach. But I could read the mute suffering in her eyes as we prayed together all through the night.
Gee, that must have been tough. Gee, mosquitoes are bad, ain't they?
I thought that experience had cured me of evil, and I began to think about a career. I wanted to go on foreign missions at first, but we couldn't bear the thought of the separation, so then we decided I should become a proofreader.
Say, slip me one of them camels, will you? I'm getting all bit up.
Oh, certainly.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
By the time I was 20, I had a good job reading proof for a firm that printed catalogs. After a year, they promoted me and let me specialize in shoe catalogs.
Yeah? That must have been a good job.
It was a very good job. I was on the shoe catalogs for 13 years. I'd be on them yet if I hadn't...
They ought to put a shot of citronella in that embalming fluid.
We were so happy together then. I had my steady job. On Sundays, we'd go to morning, afternoon, and evening service. It was an honest, moral mode of life.
It sure was.
And then came that fatal Sunday. Dr. Amaranth, our minister, was having dinner with us. One of the few pure spirits on earth. When he had finished saying grace, we had our soup. Everything was going along as usual. We were eating our soup and discussing the sermon just like every other Sunday I can remember. And then came the leg of lamb. I see the whole scene before me so plainly it never leaves me. Dr. Amaranth at my right, my mother at my left, the leg of lamb on the table in front of me, and the cuckoo clock on the little shelf between the windows.
Yeah, but what happened?
Well, as I began to carve the lamb, did you ever carve a legged lamb?
No, corned beef was more our speed.
Well, it's very difficult on account of the bone, and when there's gravy in the dish, there's danger of spilling it, so Mother always used to hold the dish for me. She leaned forward, just like she always did, and I could see the gold locket around her neck. It had my picture in it, and one of my baby curls. When I raised my knife to carve the leg of lamb, instead, I cut my mother's throat.
You must have been crazy.
Don't try to justify me. I wasn't crazy. They tried to prove that I was crazy at the trial, but Dr. Ehrman saw the truth. He saw it from the first. He knew that it was my sinful nature, and he told me what was in store for me.
Well, your troubles are over now.
Over? Do you think this is the end?
Sure. What more can they do to us?
Do you think there can ever be any peace for such as we are? Murderers, sinners. Don't you know what awaits us? Flames, eternal flames.
Keep your shirt on, buddy. They wouldn't do that.
Oh, there's no escape for us, I tell you. We're doomed. We're doomed to suffer unspeakable torments through all eternity.
You boys! You can't just shut up and let a guy sleep!
Put the soft pedal
It
on.
won't be long now. We'll receive our summons soon.
Are you gonna beat it or not? Hey, Bill! Lend me your head a minute!
Look out.
Missed them! Damn old tabby cats! I'll get them next time!
No! Wait for the wife!